What's up? This is Psyche of Sound, and this is the Mind of the Psyche. Today's topic: record labels and independent, going independent or being independent. Should you be independent? Okay, so there's a lot of talk about, anti-label, being independent, and I don't know, man. It's like left and right. I am not anti-label, but I am very much freedom, if that makes any sense. As an artist, I love to create. I love producing. I love doing a lot of things. I know that when you are with something, whether it's a relationship, there is a give and take. If you can be a marriage, you have to at some point come to a happy medium. It's not me all the time. There's a time where you have to come in the middle and make an agreement. Now, there's a lot of anti-label and slave contracts and things like that. There's a lot of bad contracts out there. And a lot of the older ones are probably worse than, or maybe the newer ones are worse. I don't know. It's apples and oranges. I say that a lot, but it's whatever you choose to be. But I see both sides of it. But I think if we were just fair to each other, if we were just treating each other fair, I think that we wouldn't have this problem. But when you get into business and greed and money, things do get a little tricky. Now, there is a little bit of confusion there. So, for example, if I sign you to a record deal, and I give you an advance of, let's say, $500,000 or $2 million, how do you figure you can do whatever you want? And when you don't sell money or make my money back, how do you feel like I'm holding you here a hostage? So for example, if I give you $20, like I heard TPain make this concept. He's like, if I you let's say I borrow $200 or $300, and now you see this guy up the street, and they're spending their money wisely. Or unwisely, I should say, spending the money, and you're like, yeah, this person owes me money. You're not going to, you're gonna be like, yo, where's my money? Are you over here buying sneakers and stuff? So labels the same way in a sense. Just think of it in the bigger picture. Now they may let you do what you want to do, and if it doesn't work, they're gonna get their money back, and if they don't, they're not gonna just let you walk and leave. Now, doing it independently means there's a struggle involved. I don't care how good you are. There's a struggle involved, and some people enjoy the struggle. Some people enjoy the reward, the end result. But I feel like today, people expect a little bit much from these artists, a little too much. Like, if I'm a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid, I'm not just marketing genius. Like, doing it on your own means you have to market yourself. Get your records done, produce them, or whatever, write them, whatever you're doing. I mean, it takes a team of people. Beyonce has a team. Drake has a team. These people have teams of people, and doing it on your own, you're asking a lot of yourself and your time, and you don't have that machine. Maybe you don't need the machine. You can make more money with less reward. What I mean by that is if you sell with a label 1,000 records at $5 a piece, you're not going to get any money, put it that way. But if you do that on your own, man, you have a nice chunk of change, that you're selling. So if you put a single out, you sell 20,000 units, that's 20,000, after taxes and Apple takes their money, but you get the point. You're making a lot more money, whereas you're not going to get 3 cents or 4 cents a copy, like the label. And that's, so if you're writing the songs and you're producing them, of course, there's money being chopped up, with split sheets all over the place. But, people are expected, I think we expect these artists to do their own marketing and social media, and, it's a lot to ask. So you're asking for a lot. Does an amazing cook have to own his own restaurant? If I'm a great basketball player, should I start my own basketball leagues? Like, some people don't want to do all that extra work. So there's a give and take for the reward. The label is a great machine to pump your stuff. I think it's if you're young or whatever in your career, to get the pointers, get out there 2-3 years. I would not recommend signing any 7 to 10 year contracts. I don't care who you are, because I think at that point you need to be renegotiated. Even if you're an NBA basketball player, like, what if your career jumps up and you're under this low contract, but you're like the number one in the league, and they're getting you for like $2 a game? It's like at some point you have to be smart about yourself and your business and what your value is, so that you can renegotiate that. But if you happen to be a prince or someone like, that can handle multiple sides and multiple things in your career, if you're like a Jay-Z, or you have a great business sense, yeah, of course. What do you need them for? What do you need anyone for? You just need to put your team together and put your thing together and run with it. But everyone is not that way. So I go back to these independent labels and independent people, and so you're screaming be independent, but yet you're going to go sign an artist to your independent label and give them limitations. So therefore, that artist is no longer independent in a sense. And that artist, you may be an independent label, but you're signing an artist and you're telling them what they can and can't do, and they can't leave you. So they're still in bondage to a certain extent, even though you're on a major label. And so what you're essentially saying is no artist should ever sign any deal with anybody, ever, which is a little ridiculous. Because, for some people, I should say, once again, this is the mind of the psyche. My mind's just racing right now. I'm just thinking about things and I'm talking about them. But if you think about it the way I'm saying it, because I've seen a couple interviews with different people, and they were, different people, they may bash Rock Nation or bash this person for management, but at what point, what you're saying, there's nobody to sign an agent deal or any kind of deal whatsoever. It's not going to happen. We would just be running in circles. At some point, there has to be some sort of structure, and if you don't have the abilities to structure yourself, then of course I think there needs to be some sort of guidance. People need coaches, managers, somebody to help guide you, and put you in positions. People that know people, and I think it's very important, especially early in your career. And once you get your feet wet and you know what you're doing, and you're like a Beyonce, yeah, go do your thing. But I think that she wouldn't have been who she is, or Michael Jackson, or anybody, if they didn't learn the ropes first. I don't think just coming out and trying to do it. Sometimes you have that hot single or that hot song, and you might just need that push from that machine. And once you get the push, you can do what you want to do and tour for the rest of your life. But if you didn't take that opportunity, you may have lost a little bit, but you have the longevity. So I don't know. It's up and down. I know that it's going to be because I'm all about independence. I'm in the process of starting a television network to provide a voice for independent artists, so that they can have a voice, because there was never an opportunity. I don't care what MTV was in its prime. There was never a time where these major shows are going to be playing your independent video. When I mean independent, I don't mean like independent indie label underneath of Aristar. I mean like independent. Like you ain't got nobody. I ain't got nobody. Anyway, independence. And in next videos, Jay-Z, it's very rare on a mainstream level where you see that. Probably impossible, actually. So it's building a platform for independence has always been my thing. I used to have a festival called the USA Music Festival, Unsigned Artist with USA, which means Unsigned Artist Music Festival or Independent Artist. And it's always been a thing that I felt like we needed a voice. Always needed a voice for just the up and coming, the rising stars, the stars of tomorrow. Where can we get our voice heard? We're past the point of handing out a CD on the street. You ain't got nobody that can even have a CD player anymore. You hand out a flyer, it's in the garbage 4 blocks down the street. Where can you get your voice heard? And sometimes the label is that opportunity. But once again, if everyone was just fair, I know Snoop Dogg was already a superstar, megastar, but when he was leaving Death Row, I saw a nice interview when he was talking about Master P had heard him, and he had a song that he was about to put out about Death Row, and Master P kind of took him under his wing, gave him a deal. But then after he did a few albums, he reconnected with Dre and wanted to Dre as in Dr. Dre once again. If I say Dre, just know I'm talking about Dr. Dre, because You should just know that. But he connected with Dre, and he was, asking P, can I do this project? And P was like, yo, man, you can do whatever you want. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, because once again, these labels can have 30 or 40 of you, and you can only have one of them. Like, you can have one manager, two managers, but then they can have 20, 30 artists. And so it becomes a conflict at some point, because if you're not hot to them anymore and they won't let you go, and they're just focusing on everyone else, you're kind of just left in the corner. So you have to position yourself, or know your worth, or just step up your game, or step up your grind. Because I think that a lot of people get trapped in to the everything else around what being famous is or being popular is, and forget about the craft of that got you there. Like, I love music. You can tell someone loves music that's still in your face. You know what I'm saying? You could tell. You could tell Beyonce loves what she does. She's in your face and she's successful. You think she's sitting at home eating popcorn? No. When she steps up there and does a Coachella, Baychella, whatever, you could tell she ain't stopped. She's been rehearsing. She gets up in the morning. It's a routine. It's not like, I want to, make an album. She's been working. You could tell, these people that have been working. You could tell Prince, when he was alive and here, he ain't never stopped. That's why he had an album out every year for his whole career, and sometimes triple discs. And he died with a vault of thousands of songs because he never stopped. He loved what he did. You have to love what you do. It can't be. It's got to be that. Dr. Dre gets up and makes beats religiously. He doesn't say, you know what? I took 6 months off. Let me make some beats. I need some money. No. These people work, and if you love what you do and you're successful at it, and you continue to do it, you're going to always be successful at it. You may have your downtime, but if you make one beat a day, there's 30 days in a month, and if you got any ounce of talent, one of those beats has got to be hot, and it's 12 months in a year, so that's an album. If you're the worst, come on, a beat a day, you got to have some hots. You got to have something hot. But, you get the point. So, yes, so anti-label, I don't think it's anti-label for me. It's just, what's the best opportunity? When a person turns you down, that's a blessing, because you don't want to waste your time with someone that does not believe in you and does not want you. You got to these artists have stories. Kanye West was turned down. Naughty by Nature, any artist that is anybody. Prince was turned down. One of the coolest things I saw was like yesterday. I watched an old thing. I think it was Steve Harvey. He might have been on the Oprah show, and he was talking about how he got his success, and he was $35 in his pocket, blah blah blah, not blah 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 in a bad way. Just, I'm getting to the point. Sorry, no disrespect, but and he got to the Apollo, and he was upstairs, and he met D.L. Hughley that night, and Jamie Foxx and The Rock, and they all went down and did their thing before him, and they all got booed. They could have all gave up that night, but we all know what these people became, and it's inside of you. No one can break you. You can break you. And that is just what I believe. So it's not about anti-label. It's about, what's the best opportunity for you. And if you get a 2-year deal, if you're hot, and maybe you have to give up a little bit, but use that time. Not to go to the strip club and throw the money away, not to put it on, drugs and alcohol, or buying $50,000, dollar cars and line them up. Like, put that money towards your career. Put the best video out there. Put the best, whatever, tour together. And maybe find some artists that, you like too, that you think they have that. Sometimes when you put that seed in other people, that seed goes a long way, and you can now have someone that will look after you, because when you're down, and maybe put you on their project if they're hot. So it goes a long way, man. We can spin circles on this. We'll probably do a panel on this on MTV. But this is definitely a topic that needs to be, dug in different, dissected and talked about in many ways. Because yes, in many ways, hell no to the label. In many ways, oh yes for the label. Because I think they're important for structure. Just like NBA has teams, the music business has labels, and I think that it's just about what's the best fit for you. If it's best for you to be independent, if you got that kind of marketing team behind you, and you got that kind of music behind you, and producers, and you got everything all ready to go, dope, man, I would just, you'll run. What are you even in this conversation for? But if not, you might need that guidance, and you might need that structure, and you might need somebody to tell you what kind of pants to wear and what kind of songs to sing and how to wear your hair. If that's what you need, that's what you need. But that is the thought of the day. This is the Mind of the Psyche, and I am the Psyche of Sound. You can check me out on psycheofsound.com. Anything, hashtag Psyche of Sound. Also check out Amped TV Network, where you can find more of my videos, as well as wonderful other things, TV shows, animations, and independent artists from all over the world. Psyche of Sound, sign it all.